Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be unstuffing and condensing my envelopes and also doing a sinking funds update to see where I am compared to last month. So I'm in my planner here and I'm going to my unstuffing and condensing section, and this unstuffing sheet I just created myself. So I'm going to take that out, and while I'm here I'm also going to take out my sinking fund update sheet that I got from the traditional dollar. And just to give a quick explanation of what an unstuffing and condensing is, so I have money that I have in my envelopes, and either I use my card or like bought something online, so I need to unstuff that money and put it back into the bank, or it's things that I just want to take out and put into my high yield savings account so that I have less money in my envelopes and so I can also earn some interest. So what I do is on my unstuffing sheet, I include the purchases I've made and then also the things I need to unstuff so that I can know how much I will have taken out at the end. So first I'm going to start in my savings binder, and here I am just going to take out some of the money from my rainy day fund. I will be taking out 400. And right now this has 450, I believe. Yep. So I'll just leave 50. So this should be 400 here. 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 84. And what I like to do is every time I hit at least $100, I'll take that money out and put it into the bank. This one I did stuff recently with my savings challenges reallocation. So that's why there's like way more than 100 in here. But let me check that off of here. And for work, this is fully funded at $50. So I'm going to take that out, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then I'll put in my fully funded placeholder. And these placeholders I will have it down in the description. Some of them I ordered like physical placeholders, and then some I bought the printables on Etsy and then just printed them on vellum. So we'll do that. And then I have my trackers here too, which I can go ahead and update. This one I got from the Remarkable Dollar. And then these are from Aya Plans, which it has the section for like what's in cash and then what's in the bank. So since I took out 50, I will take that off the cash section and then put it over here in the bank section. And I'll go ahead and check off the fully funded. And that is it for this binder. And now I'm going to my, let me check this off, to my high priority. And in here, we'll start with bulk items. This again, I stuffed during my reallocation video. So this should be 190, and I actually will be spending this money soon, but I do pickups, so I end up just using my card. So I'm gonna unstuff this and put this in the bank so that I can use my card. So it should be 190. Yep, and that's correct. And what I'm going to do until I spend the money is I will just put in this placeholder here that I got from the Remarkable Dollar, and it's just like a custom one that you can write in. I saw Katie from the Fancy Dollar, she uses like a little sticky note, which I thought that was a good idea because it makes it way easier to change out what you have on here, because sometimes it does like stain the placeholder, or it's just like you have to keep wiping it off. So I just have a placeholder that's 190. And the blank ones are nice whenever you have like an odd number like that. So let's go on. Let's see, next we will go to groceries, and I will be unstuffing all of this, but the money will be going to two different places. So I did spend $60 at Jewel, so I need to put that back into my bank account. And then I have $50, that's just my grocery buffer. So I'm gonna put that into my Ally account. So then that should be 110. And that's correct. And I also like to use my condensings to get the best bills as well, since I'm just taking it back to the bank anyway. So here I will also put well, I don't know if I should put a placeholder here because I use my blank buffer pretty often. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll just do the fully funded. And then for my bulk items tracker, I never even filled that one out because I knew I was going to take the money out. So that one's already wiped off. And then I will move back to my, oh, I think that's it for this binder. Here is where I will go next to my personal binder. I think everything else, well, there's a few that's in the Archie binder as well. So let's see, I'm going to go to spending, which this has a lot of bills because I also stuffed this during my reallocation video. So I want to keep a little bit of cash in here and then put the rest in the bank. So first I'm going to unstuff the money that I spent because I bought some things on Amazon. So that was 30 plus 25 plus 25. Oh, I also took an Uber whenever my sister and I saw Hosier, so I took that out of spending as well. And then we have 200 that I just want to unstuff to put into the bank. So that's 280. Well, I'm going to unstuff first and then I'll condense later. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 180, 190, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Let me count that one more time. Okay, that is correct. So we have $29 in cash, and then in the bank it will be 200. Let me just make sure this is 29. Yep, that is correct. I'll go ahead and check all of these off. And then I'm going to go to travel, which I did fully fund this. So I am ready to go to the beach. My goal was 400 after I bought my plane ticket. So I bought the ticket already. So this should be 400. I did want to leave 100 though in cash, just to have like the actual cash. And then I'll put 300 in the bank. So right now we have, oh wait, it will be 200 in the bank because we already have $100 in the bank. Let me change that. And down here it will be 1430. All right, so then I'll take out 200. Again, I'll unstuff first and then decide because I want to have smaller bills, but I don't know if I want like all these 20s. So that's 100, and then I'll take this out. So then I will need a $300 placeholder. Okay. So then we should still have 400. So 3, 320, 40, 60, 80, 90, and then 400. And that's it for this binder. And then the last envelope I want to unstuff is boarding. And I'll just go ahead and put this in the bank. It should be 200. And that's correct. And then I'll put a $200 placeholder in here. Perfect. I actually can put the fully funded placeholder because that's my goal for this one. Yeah, I personally, whenever I reach my goals, like for here, I like to put the fully funded, and then I like to use the actual numbered ones, like if it's not at the goal yet. Before I start, I'm going to count all this money to make sure that I have the correct amount. And I'm done with these. I'll put these away. So I should have $1,430. All right, so that is the correct amount. So now I will move on to my sinking funds update. And what I like to do is compare my money from the last month. So I went back and looked at what my numbers were in May and put them on here. And I know for sure that I have less money because I had to unstuff a lot of envelopes to pay taxes. So we will see as we go through our condensing where we are with that. I'm going to first start off with Mini Monday. And this one I don't keep track of. So let's just see here. We have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, we're so close. Let's see. I'll pick. So we should still have 19, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. For number 2, that's a new one, so it's empty. Number 3 has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Number 4, that's a new one as well, so it's empty. 5 is also empty, and 6 is empty as well. I finished a lot of these challenges last week, so they're all pretty empty. Next, I'm moving on to my Savings Sunday, which this one I also don't keep track of on my sheet here. A lot of these I think I finished as well, so they might be empty too. So here we have 16, so 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we still have 16 here. For number 2, this is a new one I'm starting, so that one's empty. 3 should have, I think, 65. That is correct. So we will take a 10 and a 5, and then pick a 50. So then we still have 10, 50, 60, and 5. For number 4, this is a new one I'm starting, so that's empty. 5 has 15. Get a better 10. So this still has 15. And then 6, this one has 78. So this one still has 50, 70, 75, 76, 77, and 78. That is it for this binder. Moving on to my savings. Here, my bank buffer is fully funded at 500. So there's no difference there. For rainy day, this one is at 450, which I already condensed this one. So that's a positive of 160. And then work, this one's now fully funded at 50. And then emergency is at 0. So let's see for work, that's a positive of 18. So in total, this binder now has $1,000. Oh, wow. So it's still more than what I had last month. I think because I put a lot into a rainy day. There was some envelopes that I took out of here. So that was a positive of 178. For my sinking funds, all of those are empty because I emptied out all of those for my taxes. So I went ahead and already filled this out. And then next we will move on to my high priority. So here for bulk items, we already took that out and that is at 190. So that's a positive of 140. Let's see, gas buffer, that's been fully funded for a while at 40. Giving, I did have to unstuff this for my taxes, so that's a minus of 50. And then grocery buffer, that is at 50. which at first I wanted to have 100 in here, but I realized I really didn't use that much for my grocery buffer. So I just put it down to 50 because I mean, for my buffer, I'll go over maybe like $5 or $10. But if it's over that, then I need to be like taking some stuff out the cart. So let's see, that is a negative of 50. And then for household, I unstuffed this, so that's a negative of 13. Important dates, this one does have 60. And I'll go ahead and put in a 50. Right now, I really am not saving for anything in particular, so I'm just gonna leave that as a 50. I think I'm gonna leave this in cash as well. And then meal delivery is at 0. How much was this? Important dates is 60. So that's a positive of 40. And then this one is at 0, which I just put this one in here. Transportation, I took that out. So that's at 0. So that's a minus of 104. And then unexpected expenses, I'm going to keep these bills. These are all nice. But this is at 50 now. So that is 31, I think. Yeah, a positive of 31. So here we had, let's see. Okay, this was only a little bit of a difference. We have 390 in here now, so that's a minus of $6. I think I did unstuff a lot, but I also kind of like reallocated things. So maybe things aren't as bad as I thought they were. Okay. And then we will go to my personal binder. And let's see, beauty is still at 50. I am going to get my pedicure. I want to wait until I go to the beach, which will be like mid-July. Fitness is at 0. Fun, I did unstuff this because we went to our concert, so that's at 0 now. So that is a minus of 200. And with these, if there's no change, I just leave it blank. And then hobbies, I unstuff that. So that's a minus of 34. Spending, this one here has, let's see, 229. So that's a positive of 108. And for this one, I do want to keep kind of a variety of bills in here. Right now, it's really small bills, so I will condense this. But in cash, I have 29. So what I'll do actually is just do the 20. And then a 5 and then 4 ones. I thought I had more in here, so I was like, I need a variety of bills, but I think a 20 is good. So we still have a 29. And then technology is at 0, so that's a minus of 100. Travel, that is the one, is at 400 now. So we took out 40, which again, for this one, it's kind of, I changed my goal because at first my goal was 800, but that included the flight. But since I bought my tickets already, I changed it to 400 because that's what I just want to have for spending money and like for boarding and gas and parking and all of that. So let's see here. And then wardrobe is at 0. So that's no change. This one I think took a pretty big hit. We are at 679. So that's a difference of $266 that we took out of here. Oh, I just realized. Let me go back to travel. I didn't actually condense that one. So I'll put a 50. Let's see how I want to do this. I'll do 50, 20. So that's 70. And then do, let's see, 2 10s and 2 5s. Or should I? Because I don't think I would use 1s. I think a 5 should be good there. This should still be 100. So 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, and 100. That is it here. And then my last binder is for Archie. A lot of these I think took a hit as well because I ended up taking that money out. So for boarding, we have 200. So that's a positive of 100. Dog meds, I did take this out, so that's at 0. Food and treats, I also took out, so that's a minus of 38. Grooming, I took out as well, so that's a minus of 30. JVM, I did unstuff this because I went ahead and paid for this for the year, so that one's at 0 because it's due in June, so now I can start saving for next year. I mean, it's only like, it was $25 this year, so it's really cheap, but I still like to have it in here because I always forget about it. And then for other pet care, this one is still at 50. This is one that I stuffed during my reallocation, so there's a lot of small bills in here, so I just want to condense this. So it should be 50. And that is correct. For other pet care, I do buy things that are usually less than $50. So I'm going to do 2 20s and a 10 here. And I think these other envelopes are empty. So pet care is empty, Petco is empty, and then the vet is also empty. So that is a minus of 20 and then a minus of 90. So in total here we have 250. So that is a difference of $208. And what I like to do is just add up all of my binders to see the difference I made in total. All right, so in May we had $3,021. And then in June we had 2,319, which that is a difference of $702, which I was expecting. And what I'm going to do before I end is just count all this money and make sure we still have the $1,430. All right, and that's the correct amount. That is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.